The Vietnam War, which lasted from 1955 to 1975, was a complex conflict that involved North Vietnam, supported by its communist allies, and South Vietnam, backed by the United States and other anti-communist countries. The year 1966 was a significant turning point in the war, characterized by escalating violence and increasing American involvement. By 1966, the war had been raging for several years, and both sides were deeply entrenched. North Vietnam sought to unify the country under communist rule, while South Vietnam aimed to preserve its independence and prevent communist expansion. The United States, concerned about the spread of communism in Southeast Asia, had been providing military aid and advisors to the South Vietnamese government since the mid-1950s. The U.S. had around 385,000 troops stationed in the country by the end of the year, marking a significant escalation in the American commitment. This surge was part of a strategy to bolster South Vietnam's military capabilities and to counter the Viet Cong, a communist insurgency group operating in South Vietnam. The year 1966 saw some major battles and operations that shaped the course of the war. One notable engagement was the Battle of Ia Drang in November. It was the first large-scale meeting between U.S. forces and the North Vietnamese Army NVA. The battle lasted for several days and resulted in heavy casualties on both sides. While the U.S. claimed victory, it highlighted the strength and determination of the NVA, foreshadowing the challenges to come. Another significant event in 1966 was Operation Rolling Thunder. This sustained bombing campaign by the U.S. aimed to weaken the North Vietnamese infrastructure and disrupt their supply lines. However, the operation failed to achieve its objectives and instead strengthened the resolve of the North Vietnamese and fueled anti-war sentiment both at home and abroad. The war in 1966 was also characterized by a growing opposition to American involvement. The anti-war movement in the United States gained momentum, with protests and demonstrations calling for an end to the war. The controversial nature of the conflict and the heavy casualties suffered by American troops contributed to a shift in public opinion and increased skepticism about the U.S. government's justification for the war. In summary, the year 1966 was a crucial period in the Vietnam War. It marked a significant escalation of American involvement, with a massive influx of troops. Battles such as the Battle of Ia Drang highlighted the intensity of the conflict and the challenges faced by U.S. forces. Operation Rolling Thunder demonstrated the limitations of air power in achieving decisive results. Additionally, growing opposition to the war both within the U.S. and internationally began to shape public discourse and put pressure on the government to reconsider its approach. Alright folks, for more videos subscribe to Oddity and hit that bell icon too. Adios.